if you type in Google average lifespan of hard disk, you would get 3 to 5 years on the first result. So I'm not convinced about whether this is true or false, because my own hard disk has lasted much longer. I'll show you by opening this simple tool, Hard Disk Sentinel, and we're going to take a look at the three of the disks I personally have. And the first one is a 1 TB hard disk, and as you can see, it has the health of 100%, which with a minor communication error, and with a power time of 520 days. And Hard Disk Sentinel says that it can go more than 1000 days. So I think this can go for a lot of time. This hard disk is, mind you, more than 8 years old. So I don't know why in the Google search result says 3 to 5 years. And the next hard disk is even more baffling. So this is 2 TB hard disk, and see the numbers over here. This is close to 2000 days, and look at the lifetime writes. That's insane. And this hard disk is even more than 12 years old, and health and performance are all 100%. So what's actually going on over here? It tells me that definitely even after 10 years, a hard disk drive runs completely fine, without any issues if you take care of it. The next particular is not a hard disk, is actually an SSD. So if I take a look at this, within a few months the health has already dropped. So I'm concerned more about the SSD. So this one is an SSD. I'm more concerned about the SSD performance rather than the hard disk, because it's only been power on time is, as you can see, 10 days 11 hours. That's nothing compared to the hard disk. So I don't know what's happening to the SSD right now. It's not much of a concern, but I'm very happy with the hard disk drive performance, which is used to store my personal data. So the conclusion I draw from this is that the 3 to 5 years they say on the Google search result over here is more related to the data centers, where hard disk has to run all of the time. If it's continuously running all of the time, then I suspect that the life expectancy of a hard disk is very small, and it can only run for 3 to 5 years only. But if you're using it for personal disk storage and seldom use it, so especially this example, you can rest assured that your hard disk will run just fine if you take care of it. Don't drop it or anything, and keep it stable in good temperatures, and it will always last way longer than you might expect. And the last thing I would like to say is that so this one is 12-year-old hard disk, and soon, if you keep going down the road, this will not eventually die. Rather than dying, this hard disk will become obsolete, in my opinion. So we will have a better technology. Hard disk. So there is no actual reason of a hard disk dying ever. So as you can see from this example. So I hope you can also trust your hard disk a little more, and thanks for listening.